So Galway 115, Dublin 216 at Tuam in St. Jarlath's Park. It's a win in the end, of course, for the Dubs. They've beaten Galway by 4 points. Yeah, of course, this is the match reaction. Of course, this is the video where I give my thoughts and reaction to the games as they happen. And in the end, it's a victory, of course, for Dublin, who grinded out a 4-point win. And it was, just very Dublin-esque. I've seen that game 100 times. That's normally what Dublin do, You're thinking back to the Kerry game last weekend where they really unraveled in the second half. A lot of complacency, misplaced passes, whatnot, and obviously allowing Kerry to come back into the game. We seen here, though, there was times where you thought maybe Galway were going to come back into the game, that late goal and all the rest. But Dublin just controlled the flow just towards the end. Obviously, Aaron Byrne coming off the bench, getting that goal. And in the end, it's a victory for Dublin. It's a good win. It's a much needed win. There was a lot of changes, obviously, in the team. Sean McMahon once again coming into the team, Peadar Byrne in midfield, you had Michael Shiel in goal. So Dublin certainly trying a lot of different things out, like Colin Maskell in the team. And Dublin, to be fair, they were in second gear, in my opinion, throughout the entirety of this game. Like, certainly a lot more to see from Dublin, in my opinion. They can certainly still step it up a notch. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And Dublin, of course, getting the victory over Galway. To be fair to Galway, I think they deserve a bit of credit. Obviously they were completely hammered, obviously, by Kerry in the first game, received a lot of criticism from a lot of fans, Galway fans, Dublin fans, all the rest. And do you know what? They've responded. They responded by beating Roscommon, but they actually showed a lot of fight in this game. And, in particular with Galway, I was actually impressed with Peter Cook in midfield, hit 2 points. I actually thought he had a very, very bright game. Would have actually probably been one of the contenders for man of the match, although Con O'Callaghan, like, what can you say? You run out of verbs to describe this lad. He obviously got a goal himself, a bit of a scrappy goal nonetheless, but of course he set up Aaron Byrne as well with a brilliant pass. And you just run out of words to describe Con O'Callaghan. You really, really do. Running through some of the big talking points in the game. Obviously, early on, there was a chance, of course, for Galway. Matthew Tierney ran through on goal, forced the save by Michael Shiel. Obviously, we see Michael Shiel get caught out, of course, for that late Galway goal. Definitely got caught out there, kind of coming out to try fist the ball. You wouldn't normally see Stephen Cluxton make those kind of errors, to be fair, but Stephen Cluxton has made mistakes in the past. He made mistakes when he first came into the Dublin team, and certainly for Michael Shiel, he's third choice goalkeeper in the Dublin team. Obviously, Evan Comerford is normally the second choice. But yeah, Shane Walsh, another really talented forward. We've a lot of really great forwards in the country at the moment, and Shane Walsh is definitely another one. 10 points for him. Robert Finnerty, I actually thought he had a great game against Roscommon. I rewatched that game there during the week, and I thought he was fantastic in that game. Really linked the play, but went off on the 58th minute. Didn't have his best game. Just a point today for Robert Finnerty. And Matthew Tierney obviously getting that goal. Of course, the long ball floated in. Michael Shiel completely misjudging it, and Tierney putting it in the back of the net. Paul Conroy had a bright game as well in midfield, hitting the points. Thought he was quite bright at times as well. And it was tit for tat in many ways. Both teams, Galway were certainly dropping quite deep. They certainly didn't want to go toe-to-toe, a bit like the Kerry game, because obviously you could see at different times Dublin had players running off the shoulder. Kieran Kilkenny at times breaking through, Con O'Callaghan as well. And Dublin always tend to play the safe option as well, which is obviously putting the ball over the bar. Like, a lot of fisted points in and around the kind of area where where teams would normally try and go for a goal. Aaron Byrne probably the only exception there when he ran through, and I suppose that was a clear goal scoring opportunity. Looking through some of the scores for Dublin, Cormac Costello hitting 6 points. I'll probably make a team of the season or league team of the season at some point, maybe to run through my top 15, and I think Cormac Costello would have to get on there. 6 points in this game. Not as free scoring maybe as the Kerry game or the Roscommon game, but I suppose he didn't have the penalties to help him out this time around. Kieran Kilkenny with 3 points, of course. Colin Maskell, he's a player that's done very well at club level over the past couple of years with Ballybowden. Good to see him get his opportunity, 2 points. And there's certainly an opportunity for a player like Colin Maskell to get game time, obviously, with the fact that Paul Mannion has, of course, opted out, and there's obviously a number of players retiring, players getting older and whatnot. So very, very impressive stuff. Niall Scully, obviously the unsung hero a lot of the time in this Dublin team. Set up a lot of opportunities. Obviously played his part, of course, in the goal as well. He ran through and, of course, forced the save, of course, by Bernard Power, and then Con O'Callaghan just bundled it into the back of the net. And Dublin, to be fair, like you felt like Dublin were going to cruise after that when that goal went in. They were 5 or 6 points in front, but to be fair to Galway, like, you have to give them credit. They obviously got that goal. Dylan McHugh A wing back who came on was quite impressive as well. Got a brilliant point on the 55th minute. And obviously Matthew Tierney with that goal on the 57th minute. Definitely Michael Shields misjudging that, of course, as well. And I did feel at times Galway maybe just choosing the wrong options. Like there was an opportunity late on for Shane Walsh. And he actually floated a ball into the square when he probably could have went for a point or maybe worked the score. And if that had gone over the bar, it would have been a 1-point game. That was obviously before the goal by Aaron Byrne. And yeah, obviously that sets up Dublin against Donegal, I believe it is, and Galway will play Monaghan in a relegation playoff. Yeah, you know, I think Dublin, to be fair, I think they're definitely in second gear. They definitely haven't been to their absolute best in the game just yet, but certainly you would expect that Dublin will step it up, of course, going into the championship, going into Leinster and all the rest. Few comments coming in there. Unfair here says only caught the second half. Dubs never really looked rattled. Some of their possession was outrageous, especially in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Shane Walsh is an absolute baller. Yeah, absolutely. There was definitely one or two moments where Dublin were, I think Owen Merchant hit one or two passes astray from what I remember. Definitely a few times getting caught out of possession, but I think that's maybe some of the new lads coming in. I thought Peter Byrne was bright at times, but maybe just got caught out with one or two passes here or there. And yeah, you know, certainly Dublin really just were in control, weren't they? They were always in control. Even after Galway got that late goal, like Dublin just stepped it up a notch. They went into another gear and were able to kind of grind out the victory. Another comment there from Dylan Duffy, who says there, how are you? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Dylan. Cheers for your comment. I hope you're well. But yeah, man of the match. I don't know. Like, does anyone have any opinions on man of the match? I think Conor O'Callaghan probably gets it. 1-3 set up, of course, the goal as well. But like I said, Peter Cook for Galway, I thought was very impressive indeed. I thought he had a very good game for Galway in the midfield. Brian Fenton as well, like hit 2 points. I think he deserves massive credit as well. Broke forward as well, had that goal opportunity potentially late on in the second half and chose to go for the points. And yeah, you know, for the changes that Dublin are obviously making, obviously at the moment, you know, they're trying a lot of different things out with players. Sean McMahon coming in, Eric Lowndes obviously came back into the team. You've Mick Fitzsimons in there, who's obviously, in my opinion, the best defender in the country. And Conor O'Callaghan, of course, getting 1-3, very impressive stuff. Cormac Costello with 6 points was absolutely fantastic, and it will certainly be very interesting now to see how Dublin get on, of course, against Donegal in the league semi-finals. I did hear, I think, that if Donegal win, there won't be a league final. I'm not too sure how that works. I think because Donegal maybe play in Ulster in the preliminary round or something like that. But again, I don't understand. That doesn't really make sense. But Dublin, yeah, for sure, I think we'll go on to the league final. I think Kerry beat Roscommon as well, so that will set up Kerry to play Tyrone. Kerry against Tyrone. So I think it's very well set for a Kerry Dublin final if it does happen, of course. And it'll be part 2 of a potential trilogy this year, you'd have to imagine, between Dublin and Kerry. And yeah, of course, this has been the match reaction after Dublin have ran out 4-point winners. As I said, to conclude, it was very comfortable for Dublin. They never really looked like losing the game. I know Galway caused a couple of problems with the early goal chance for Matthew Tierney and obviously that goal as well. But yeah, for a team that's made a lot of changes to their team, and you know, for a lot of people who were saying maybe there's cracks in the Dublin team appearing last weekend, you know, they've never looked at their absolute best in the league, and yet they're still going into a league semi-finals, and they've still made loads of changes. Still have Stephen Cluxton to come back, still have Desi Farrell to come back onto the sideline as well. So yeah, absolutely. Dylan Duffy there, just to wrap up, he says, "How you doing a watch along next weekend?" I won't be around next weekend, unfortunately. So there'll be no watch alongs, but yeah, cheers anyway for your comment there, Dylan, and I appreciate the support as always. And yeah, cheers anyone who tuned in. There'll be more videos to come out soon. So yeah, I'll see you later.